Today part 2 of living and working in Malaysia, so stick around. Hey, what's cooking guys, Marcel here again from Slamming It Out, and thank you for watching my video. So first of all, I want to say thank you very much. Why? Because I need to say thank you to all my now year to date or months to date, so to speak, 2,400 viewers who until this day watched my first part, living and working as a chef in Malaysia, part 1. And I actually put part 1 not because I wanted to shoot a second part of living and working in Malaysia, but I put part 1 because it was the first video in a series of other videos. You know, many of you who watch the other videos know that I covered Malaysia, Indonesia, the Philippines and all these countries. So nevertheless, today is part 2, but I want to take this opportunity to, of course, thank everybody, because it is an overwhelming amount of viewers and I received great comments also. Thank you so much for that. I never expected that, but everything I said in this video is the truth and comes straight from my heart, okay? And 170 likes, 170 thumbs up, no thumbs down, you know, that is a great result. And I'm especially amazed and surprised about the response. Yeah, I like to interact with you. Thank you for your comments. It's great to hear your feedback, you know. And of course, it was my pleasure to mention your country, which I spent 3 years in, because it is a part of my life. But today in this video, I want to focus. I want to talk about Sabah. I want to talk about the state of Sabah and the city of Kota Kinabalu. So I want to dedicate a little bit more time to speak about Sabah, because I spent 3 years in Sabah and actually only 6 months on the peninsula Malaysia, near to Kuala Lumpur and Ipoh, which is about 2 hours ride north with the train. So I only spent 6 months there, but the majority of my time in Malaysia I spent on Borneo Island in the state of Sabah and Kota Kinabalu. So here's the story. It was in 2008 when I finished my contract in Hong Kong. So Hong Kong was my first station in Asia. That was my first real working contract I have received. Before that I was in Beijing, but only for a few weeks. So Hong Kong was my first real and great Asian working experience. I'm coming from Europe, so coming to Hong Kong for the first time at all in Asia was an amazing experience. So I've made a video about Hong Kong. You can watch this. I will not go into much detail here in my video, because it's dedicated to Sabah and Malaysia, but I want to give you the context. So I finished Hong Kong, big city, 7 million people, very modern, a lot of things going on, a lot of rich people, a lot of poverty, East meets West, you know, the nightlife, crazy place, crazy city. It made a big impact on me. Coming from Berlin in Germany, where I grew up, you know, I'm coming from a big city, so I'm used to big cities, but Hong Kong is just topped it up another 10 notches for me, you know. It's not only the different language and different people and different culture, it's just Hong Kong is just an amazing melting pot. World-class city, very expensive, you know. For those of you who visited Hong Kong, you know, I don't need to tell you. So now imagine the situation. I'm coming from Hong Kong and I knew, of course, I will work in Malaysia for the first time in Kota Kinabalu. I was actually kind of desperate to get a new job, because I tried very hard in Hong Kong. You know, once I knew my contract is coming to an end, like in the next 3 or 4 months, I knew I needed to apply, and I applied and nothing really moved and happened. So I was a little bit desperate, but suddenly there's this job offer appeared, and there was this executive chef who was looking for a German-speaking executive sous chef. And executive sous chef is the right hand of the executive chef in the kitchen. So I was the number 2, the deputy chef. So he was looking for a German guy. So I said, great. And where's Kota Kinabalu? So I looked it up on the map, and I looked it up and I saw, wow, it's only like 2.5 hours away from Hong Kong. Great. Thank you very much. I take the job, because I was thinking, yeah, only 2.5 hours away from Hong Kong. Wow, I can travel back to Hong Kong at any time, you know, great. So I decided to take the job. It was a relatively easy interview. Everything went fast. You know, I signed the contract and off I went. Hong Kong airport, caught my plane and flew down to KK. And I arrived in a completely different world, you know. Of course, I did some research before, saw some pictures on the internet, and I knew, of course, Kota Kinabalu, a city a city I never heard before. I knew it was not like Hong Kong. Anyway, I arrived, and since I am a very flexible human being, you know, I before Hong Kong, I worked in other countries already, you know. This is what I like, to travel around and to be flexible and to adapt to different situations. So yeah, I arrived in KK, and since the first day, I had never really issues to adopt, you know. I was used to the climate, because it's also a tropical climate, you know, like Hong Kong. And it can get humid. KK is on the seaside. It's located at the South China Sea, which I loved, you know. So I started to work. I remember they put me into a staff accommodation there. I worked at the Nexus Resort Karambunai. We'll post some pictures also. And yeah, they put me into the staff accommodation, which was a little bit different, you know, not what I had in Hong Kong. You know, in Hong Kong I had really nice things, you know, like apartment, and everything was like really, really first class. And so they put me there in a staff accommodation. I remember when I opened the door, I was a little bit disappointed, because, you know, I still had that Hong Kong standard in my mind. But nevertheless, I said I'm a very flexible guy. That's one of my strengths. And I'm also very adaptable, one of my other strengths. So not a big deal. I'm a simple guy. So I moved in, big, nice apartment. So started to work, you know, had no issues actually. People spoke English, many things to do, busy working place. And at the time, in 2008, I was like 31 years old, so young, handsome, aspiring, you know. I wanted to push my career. First time executive sous chef, so big hotel property, 8 outlets. That means like 8 different restaurants and bars and other things. So busy place, many things to do. I learned a lot, and I had a big team. We had like around 125 people working in the kitchen. That is huge. That was and still is the largest kitchen team I ever worked with. So I mentioned a few things already in my previous video. Again, go watch it, then you can get the entire context. So the people in Sabah, like I said in my first video, lovely people, very good heart, you know. Of course, they have a different mentality. I'm from Germany, I'm from Europe, you know. I have a different mentality than these people in Sabah. And you need to know that if you want to ever take a job, if you ever get the chance at all, which I doubt actually to get a job over there because of these different times now. But in any case, you need to be aware of that you are traveling to a complete different world. It's almost like a different universe, okay? And it's not only that people speak a different language, they also tick differently, you know? So, but lovely people, okay? You need to be able to respect these people in Sabah, you know, but not only Sabah people. I mean, you need to be able to respect any human being, right? And I mentioned this in my first video also, that some white guys or some foreigners, some masale, as we say in Malaysia, some masale, they didn't make it. They didn't show the respect, they got kicked out, you know, they got in trouble with the local stuff. So, and there's this interesting thing, Malaysia is divided, you know, you have the the peninsula Malaysia here on the left side, and you have Borneo with Sabah, Sarawak on the northern part of Borneo, you know. And I had a few colleagues coming over from the peninsula, from KL mostly, started to work in Sabah, started to work in the same hotel in KK, Kota Kinabalu, where I worked, and they complained. They complained to me about the local Sabah people, and I said, "What's the matter? What's wrong? What do you think is not right with these people?" He said, "They are lazy and they are so different than to the people in KL. You know, KL, everybody is switched on and smart, and they work harder, and everything is faster and it's more beautiful there. You know, working is much easier." So I just listened to what they had to say, and I could not make any judgment because I never worked in KL before, so I just listened to it. You know, I'm a polite guy, and but I could never confirm what they said. You know, so yeah, of course, the work ethic is a little bit different. What does it mean? That means that people in Sabah are certainly more laid back, as we say. Yeah, but laid back can be also something good, you know, because when you look at me, I'm not so laid back. I'm from Germany, you know how we guys are, you know, we are straightforward. Sometimes we are too offending. Sometimes we are very aggressive also. The guys who worked with me, they know what I'm talking about, right? So I know you all have forgiven me already, but I also made my mistakes and I know what I'm talking about, you know. So yeah, different culture, different mentality. So, and that's what I learned from the Sabah people, to take it easy. Hey boss, hey boss, take it easy. Yeah, lay back, don't get so excited, you know, just take a deep breath. And then, so this is something good actually, you know. So, and so that was something great to experience and to learn. Of course, in the beginning, I also had my difficulties because I wanted to prove myself. I wanted to prove my boss, you know. And then I was like very, very strict, and I wanted everything fast. And if somebody didn't listen to me or somebody did not accomplish the task I was instructing, I got mad. You know, these things I had to learn also. These were the mistakes I made. So basically you can say 2 years of Sabah or 3 years of Sabah, because I came back a second time, actually changed my personality also to the positive, you know. So I also went kind to school, as you can say it like that. You know, Sabah was a personal development school, you know, because I find it very important that you get along with your people. I said it before and I say it again. There are many white people who never manage to survive in this part of the world because they do not get along with the people. And if you do not get along with the people, then it's better for you that you buy your return ticket as fast as possible. As for me, I learned my lessons also, but I survived. You know, I spent 2 years in KK from 2008 to 2010. I finished my contract. So after that, it was time for me to explore other countries, of course, because I wanted to work on my career. But I always kept in touch with the people in KK. And then 7 years later, I had again the opportunity to come back to Sabah, not only to Kota Kinabalu, but to the same hotel I worked before. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that something really amazing? I remember in 2017, 7 years after I actually left KK, I visited KK again. After 7 years, I visited KK again. And of course, I visited the Nexus Resort. And believe it or not, I met people who still remembered me, who still were working there, you know. And of course, I recognized them as well. So I went to the hotel and met a few people, and they were very surprised to see me. And I remember very clearly that I said to myself, man, that would be so great if I could work in KK again. You know, when I saw this place again, the beach, the hotel, also the city had changed a little bit. They had built new roads and new buildings, you know. After 7 years, things change, so, but I instantly fell in love again with the city. I must also say, when I came there the first time, when I was younger, I did not pay so much attention to the city or to the nature things, Mount Kinabalu or Kudat or whatever. I just were working 2 years straight, working on my career, take it very seriously. So that was actually the not so good thing, because I spent 2 years in KK, but I didn't see much because I basically just spent my time at work. So for the second time, I wanted to make it a little bit different. And I really wanted to experience more of KK, more of Sabah and the people and the culture and everything, The great thing with Sabah is, with Kota Kinabalu, also the diversity of the people. You have many different tribes there. Like I remember the Kadazan, the Dusun, Bajau, what else? You have Murut. And there are more tribes, and it's funny because when I wanted to hire people for my kitchen team, I had to, of course, fill out a personal file. So when I conducted interviews with these people, with the local people, afterwards I had to evaluate them. So had to give my recommendation if I wanted to hire them, or if I didn't want to hire them, then not. But we had to fill out a form, and always there was a small section where they had to put their race, their ethnicity or tribe. In my country it's not like that. It would be considered like discrimination if they would ask for the race. Here in my country it's not the case, but there you have to put the tribe. So when I studied it carefully, I was so this guy or this girl is sitting in front of me, and we had a chat. And then later I looked it up. So she is from the Dusun tribe, or he is from the Murut. But I couldn't see any difference in the face. So for me as a foreigner, as an outsider, there was no difference. But for these local people, this is kind of still very important. They are very proud of being Kadazan, Dusun, and or Murut or Bajau. They are very much aware and still conscious of their heritage. And they still practice it. So in Sabah, you even have public holidays who only commit to the local tradition and culture. And I remember the Kamatan, correct me if I pronounced it incorrectly. Kamatan, right, is the Thanksgiving festival. It is celebrated somewhere in spring. Anyway, so this is one of the local festivals which is celebrated only in Sabah. It's not celebrated anywhere else in Malaysia. So the local people, they are very proud people. They are aware of their heritage, and especially when it comes to weddings and other festivals, they put on their traditional clothes, they perform their traditional dances, they play their traditional music, and they dish up their traditional food. This is all still very much alive, and this is what I like there. The people are on one way very modern. Of course, you have shopping malls and modern roads. We'll talk about this in a second. So, but the people are also they love their heritage, they love their tradition, they love their culture. Yeah, this is what I strongly remember and I really liked. There is a nice balance, because, and honestly, I must say, they have all reason to be proud. And I can just say to you, before I came to Sabah, I didn't even know how to spell this, By the way, Sabah means land below the wind. And why is that? Because Sabah is located right below the Philippines. So here you have Hong Kong, then comes the Philippines, the Philippine Islands, and then just below there comes already Borneo or Sabah. And some of you know that the Philippines is located right in this belt where all these hurricanes are forming. The typhoons, actually, they call it typhoon in Asia. And the typhoon season normally starts, I would say, July, August, September, October. This is the time. And they're crushing all the way through and over the Philippines most of the time. And even Sabah is very close to the Philippines, you know. You basically can take a helicopter and fly to the other Philippine islands, but a typhoon actually very, very rarely hits Sabah. So that's why they call it land below the wind. So the wind refers to the typhoon. Yeah. And yeah, so very proud people, very interesting. But on the other side, you know, KK is actually a very nice city, and I started to love it. You know, coming from Hong Kong, there was a little bit of discrepancy, you know, but now coming back 7 years later, I loved it. Why? Because, you know, at the time I lived actually in the Philippines. I lived in Manila, you know, and everybody who knows Manila knows what I'm talking about. Manila is just a big city, and it's a very challenging place. So I flew from Manila to KK, and I saw the difference. You know, KK is actually a very green city, you know, and you have great roads, and everything is very relatively disciplined, you know. You have malls and nice restaurants, and the city is international, you know. You have many tourists also. You had, I must say, I'm recording this video now in September of 2020, and but you used to have plenty of tourists of Korea and China. The city was packed with tourists. The hotels were completely booked out, you know. You have some very nice 5-star resorts in the city. For example, of course, I want to advertise for the hotel I worked twice. This is the Nexus Resort and Spa Karambunai. Go check out this place. Has a private beach, you know, something very beautiful. But of course, you also have other locations like the Shangri-La Resort, Rasaria, which is nearby, and then you have the Sudra Harbor Resort, which I also can recommend. A very beautiful beach, and there you actually can see the sun rising. You know, you can see the sun rising when you stay at the Sudra Harbor Resort. You know, and but if you want to see the sun setting, then you have to travel to the Shangri-La or to the Nexus Resort. So, because I remember once I traveled to the Sudra Harbor Resort, very early in the morning I experienced a beautiful sunrise. Was it the sunrise? I have to check the pictures, but I'm pretty sure it was the sunrise. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Put this immediately in the comment sections, okay? Yeah, so I like the city, a lot of green, you know. You need a car, you know, no bus. Buses are going, but this is not like in big cities like Singapore, Hong Kong, or in Berlin. There is no public transportation system. There is no trains going or stuff like that, you know, like you have a car or you have a motorbike, and that's the way to get around. And what else there's to say? Of course, I also took the opportunity 10 on my second time in Sabah and KK to travel a little bit more, because I haven't seen much in the first time, but I still did not manage to visit Mount Kinabalu. So and here's actually now the secret I can share with you. I did on purpose not visit Mount Kinabalu yet, because now I still have an excuse to come back and visit KK. So I need to put it on my list, and I will do it. The day will be coming when I will climb Mount Kinabalu. If some of you want to join me, then please let me know. It's gonna be probably a lot of fun. But I made it to Kudat, you know, in the north of Sabah, and Kudat is the place where there is the northern tip of Borneo, right? The northern tip of Borneo, as they call it, and yeah, that's as far as you can get. A very nice place, but I never visited the eastern part on this side of Sabah, so Tawau, and many other things you can do there, snorkeling and diving, and yeah, so Sabah is a very diverse place in terms of people, in terms of culture, therefore also in terms of food, but also in terms of wildlife and animals and everything. You know, the orangutans are stemming from there. They are still living there in habitats, of course, because they need to be protected. As far as I know, there are also small elephants. I'm not sure now, and I haven't seen them. Please correct me if I'm wrong. But also the plant life is gigantic plant life. Many people travel only for the plants because there are plants only growing there in Sabah. By the way, the forest, the jungle, is the oldest rainforest in the entire world. And it is about 140 million years old. Yeah, many people don't know that. They think when you talk about rainforest, and certainly the biggest rainforest is in Brazil, in South America, but it's not the oldest rainforest. You can Google it if you want. You can check me up on that. But the rainforest in Sabah is the oldest one still in existence. 140 million years old. So that makes it also special. And I lived in the middle of the jungle. I remember our staff quarter was right in the middle of the jungle. I was waking up every morning to the sounds of the jungle, to the sounds of the monkeys, to the sounds of the insects and the sounds of the birds. You know, that was something I will never forget. So it is definitely worth a trip, and I know not many people have Sabah on their radar for what reason ever. I also don't know why that is, but you know, look, I also didn't know about that place until I got there and experienced it for myself. So therefore I recommend it, of course, to anybody who wants to make a nice vacation in Southeast Asia. If you guys want to see a place which is really diverse in terms of culture, people, food and nature and everything. If you are a wildlife lover, then you need to go to Sabah, because this place, and you have that's crazy. I mean, you have the seaside, you know, you have ocean, you have nice beaches, abandoned beaches, not like in Phuket or Australia or in Bali. You have beaches, there is nobody there. So if you like solitude, then go and travel to Sabah. So you have the beaches here, and then you can travel like 2 hours and you are already in the mountain area. Right there is Mount Kinabalu. This mountain is more than 4,000 meters high. It is one of the highest mountains in Southeast Asia. So also you see the diversity here. You have a flatland and a seaside, beautiful beaches, and just a couple of hours with a car, you have arrived in the mountain area where you can go hiking and strolling around and climbing, and of course you can climb the Mount Kinabalu. And you have to be careful. You have to prepare for the trip. You know, it's not just that you just climb the mountain. You have to. You need to train for this. You need to at least prepare for it. You know, so. You can even see the mountain every morning when the weather is nice. You know, the sun is actually, depending where you are, the sun is rising right behind the mountain. So even you are hanging out at the beach, you can see the Mount Kinabalu. So, and that was good for me because I am from Germany and we have a lot of forest here in Germany, and the climate in Germany is cooler. You know, so when you go into the forest here, there is a certain air. You know, it's not only the temperature, but the wood, the forest has a certain smell, a certain fragrance. So once I visited the area around Mount Kinabalu and I was hiking around a little bit, and everything reminded me on Germany, because the same trees, same temperature, because much cooler. You know, at the beach side, of course, it's like 30-35 degrees and very hot. You travel to the mountain area, it's like 20 degrees. So it all reminded me on Germany. So yeah, so that's why I recommend this place, and that's why I also talk so much about it. But this video is dedicated because I also want to, of course, make a little bit of advertising for Sabah, for those people who never visited this place and who don't know where to do their next vacation. So of course, we all hope that everything will be kind of back to normal. You know, I want to travel to Sabah as soon as I can, because I still have some luggage sitting there. Believe it or not, greetings go out to Willie. Willie was my teammate, my colleague He was in charge of the cold kitchen. If you watch this video, Willy, then please thank you very much for taking care of my luggage. I have still 2 suitcases of stuff sitting in your garage, so I need to pick that up as soon as I have some time. But of course, I will not just travel there and pick up my luggage. Of course, I will meet a lot of friends and colleagues there, and I'm already looking forward to it. So this is all I have to say today about Sabah. This is all I wanted to say. That was more a personal perspective. I wanted to give it my personal touch from my own personal view, how I experienced Sabah and Kota Kinabalu. To be very honest, I'm thinking a lot of the city and the area, and I mentioned it in my other video already. I seriously consider retiring there, and I know people, foreigners, Marcel, who have retired in Sabah, and I can clearly understand why they have retired there, because I gave you so many reasons now. Okay, yeah, other than that, if you are interested to read more of my travel adventures, not only about my Malaysian experience, you know, I traveled to 11 different countries. It's all in this book. Many more stories, many more great countries, of course, many more great people, many more great food, many more great culture, and many more great things. And what is also in this book, of course, useful tips, tricks, and other tools if you want to become a better and more professional chef. So this is not only about my traveling, it's also about my growth process, how I started as a 16-year-old boy in the kitchen and how I worked my way up with all ups and downs and all these difficult and sometimes also crazy and strange and sad situations. So if you like this video, then please, I would love and look forward to if you would give me a thumbs up, give me a double thumbs up. I know I can trust you guys, you know. I hope many of my Malaysian followers and viewers, citizens, friends and colleagues are watching this video. So I need your support to like this video, to share it with everybody, you know. Here I dedicated it to the Sabah people. Yeah, so all the Sabah people are required to watch this video, to like and to share it, of course. And I'm kidding, of course, but it would be great if you can go ahead and also give me your comments. Yeah, I want to know what you have to say. Did you like this video? Did I talk too much? Did I miss out on something? Please put this in the comment section. Not only for me, but also for the other viewers, you know, because so more comments we get, so more facts, you know, can be discussed, and it's very interesting comments sometimes also for other viewers to learn something, you know. I also, when I watch other YouTube videos, I also like to go through the comment section because they're very interesting comments, helping me to learn something. And you know, so please get your comments out if you want, and share them not only with me but with the other people. And yeah, come on, visit my website also. I have a website, www.marcelr.com, www.marcelr.com. There you can find all of my other videos and of course my blog, my weekly blog posts, which I release every Wednesday. Different topics, traveling, leadership, so, you know, different things. And talking about leadership, go check out my course. The link is also here down in the description. If you are a leader, if you are a team leader, if you want to become a team leader, or maybe you are already a team leader and you're wondering why your staff is not listening to you or not following you, here's something great. In the description is a link for my leadership course. It's called 9 Leadership Principles for Becoming a powerful team leader. In this course, this 90-minute course, I share all my tips, tricks, strategies, everything what I have learned in the past 27 years about leadership is in this course. So now, the second reason why you should check it out is because from time to time I will run a special promotion. That means you don't have to pay a single cent. This course is for free from time to time. So therefore, as I said, check it out, and maybe you are lucky and you can enroll for free. And here's something special for you. I can actually share this with you already. Next week, I'm gonna run a 3-day promotion for my leadership course, and that course will be then for free. So you don't have to pay any money. So go check it out. And yeah, one more thing. I'm about to release my second online class on Udemy also. And this is about persuasion. It's all about persuasion and communication. So I think the course will be available probably the next week. So I'm gonna let you know anyway. So I will be in touch with you for the time being now. Thank you so much for staying until the end. I know it's kind of a longer video, but I think the time was worth it. You know, I don't just want to talk about such a nice experience, such a nice place as Sabah is in just 2 minutes. You know, if you want to watch a 2-minute video, then you have to go look for something else. But you know, I wanted again to shoot this part 2, living and working in Malaysia, and that will be also the final video. If you need more information, please of course let me know. If you still need more stories, then let me know if you need me to shoot another video. But I think that should be it, you know. And hope you like this video. Then again, give me a thumbs up or give me a thumbs down. It doesn't matter. I just want your thumbs. Stay healthy, stay safe, and as usually, don't forget to slam it out, or don't forget to keep slamming it out. Take care. Bye bye.